So this is the new art book for the second half of Endwalker. So to explain, this is a Japanese copy. So you have this, which explains this patch 6.1 through 6.5. So it's really meant, the first art book is really the one released with the release of the expansion. And this is kind of what I call the follow-up after everything else is done, right? So it's supposed to encapsulate the patches from here to the end. So for people who are like, is my favorite character in there? Probably not unless they picked or appeared in patches 6.1 through 6.5. In any case, this is round two full recording because our previous one was very blurry. And here we go. So the main difference that you guys should all know is that there's not much difference usually between the Japanese and English versions except for some end credits because there's usually not a lot of large text in, like large blocks of text in Japanese. So, given that this is 6.1 through 6.5, what do we expect? Well, these books are going to focus on new artwork and characters, the Raid series, Myths of the Realm complete series, because this is usually not part of the original art book, because that's kind of a spoiler, right? And it's also kind of still in process and development. So they have the entire Myths of the Realm, various dungeons and trials captured in 6.1 through 6.5, Island Sanctuary, equipment, minions and mounts, additional art. And by equipment, you'll see when we get there. But I'm going to try and go fast. But I do want to say what I love is that this book, because it's patch art, there's a huge preponderance of Yusuke Mogi art. And a lot of you guys probably have noticed him because, again, fantastic patch art. I think actually his style has become a lot more dramatic. And I don't know, maybe it's just the pieces he's allowed to do has changed a lot. But I think most people noticed him earlier this year because of these new designs, right? These are also Mogi designs. And these are updated for the Scions, who maybe didn't have art before. There's beautiful Vina and of course a new Xenos. So now we're on to the patch characters, and this is Zero. And you see her designs. This I'm not sure for sure it's Mogi or not, because it has a very distinct eye way that it's drawn. And of course there are monsters. Now, this one I want to pause and show you that there's Eric. It looks like Eric Thonius, but this is young La Habrea. So now you see who Eric Thonius looks like. A couple things is that in this version, I don't see much of a mustache. And there's Grandpa with the beard. This is my favorite look for him. Then here's like, wow. So this in contrast is like, what the heck's going wrong with the Hephaestus version? He looks pretty sick. So now we're on to the raid, and you'll see that there's monster boss, there's concept art. One thing that is important about the concept art, okay, so you have like things like the floor designs, which I think is really cool because it shows that there's a, there's a designer type again, but the floors in the images show you what the whole like arena and everything around's meant to be intended to be built as. Of course, when we load in, we only notice usually the immediate arena, and you may see like pieces of the backdrop, but you don't see the greater context. So this is why I love the art book. Again, this is a render of the fourth circle, and this is where Vampire Guy shows up. This is really beautiful the way it's laid out. You can get a better sense of the architecture of the space. And I think this is funny, is the torso's regular version. He's really built, and then glasses version. And this is probably the Savage version, which we don't see. And then, of course, we have Protocarby, and we have another boss. And again, beautiful setting. And this is the full tree that we see later. Yeah, Hemitheos. Because again, when we fight, the bottom of this is obscured, right? We don't fully see this while we're fighting, so that's why it's cool to have this view. There we go. There's Hephaestus. Different views of him. It's really cool. Of course, this is the Savage version. Wow. Okay. And I mentioned this earlier. One thing that's a drawback about these books, and I really hope that if someone ever sees this video who has some influence, they could talk to them about how badly this is laid out. Because look at this very important detail, which is very intriguing and intrigued the fandom. This DNA helix kind of thing is almost lost in the spine. So for me, this is a little bit problematic. I wish they would say, you know what, if we're going to break it, well, at least look at the next few pages. you at least off-center it, so like, yeah, you don't lose the main feature, the thing that we need to focus on. Of course, is pandemonium. Yeah, look at the beautiful format them is, again, kind of cut off here. So what happens is you can look at it, but you don't get the complete sense of the image, which kind of sucks. You know, if I'm going to pay this much for a book, I kind of want to have, at least this one here, you see she's off-centered so that this is much more effective. You get the majority view of her. If someone is so inclined to like, I really want to scan this, you know, they can do that. But yeah, this kind of obscures the beauty. Again, all these images, you're slicing them down in the middle of the spine. And one thing they don't realize is these books cannot be broken. They're bound a certain way. If once you do that, you push it down, you've broken the entire spine in the book. So that's gorgeous. I love her Savage version. And I like, these are cute. I really like this. It reminds, whoever did this, it totally makes me think anime. And I kind of love that design. It looks like something you could see in 2D. Anyways, moving on to Midst of the Realm. This is the 24-man. You know, this is kind of neat. Someone really thought hard about how they can incorporate the different sigils. Now, this art has been released before as well. Not sure that all of these side animals were. We've seen these. But I like that there are these details in case you like cosplay or costuming. Okay, we have the twins like that. You can see that. Now this is interesting to me because with Euphrenesy, so when we load in, this is a lot brighter, more saturated. This is actually kind of muted, and I kind of wonder what the intent was because this is way more muted than what we load into. This is also more muted, but I love this. I love this conceptual drawing because you can see that they really thought about the layers. It's too bad though, as we run up it, we're not really appreciating it, right? So it's concept, but it's kind of lost on us until we look at the book and see how it's intended to be laid out. Now this is really cool, but how many of us realize like, oh, look at that, under the platform where we fight the brother and sister, it's like this. Okay, well, there's Nofuka. These are cool. To me, these look like these are definitely different artists. And part of the reason why I say that is the painting style is a little different. Either that or someone, for this one almost looks like they heavily used some modeled elements to inform the coloring. This looks more like a line art that's colored. Yeah, these are very cool. The style is very cool. I like how in this case, this is line art. They did the flat. Then this is like a little bit more painterly. Again, flat, painterly. So this Thaliak is the face is a lot more femme and younger. This is gorgeous. I love this. Costumers, like, this is probably what you need if you were really trying to make this. There's really good attention to fronts and backs and sides, so I think people have a good sense of how to adjust this. Osha No Wonder is funny because he's so super buff. Look at that. He's like a hefty dude. And I don't think this actually came across that well. The other thing is, when you look at Oshan the Giant is actually got cat face. This is a very hero face. And then the combined boss is really confusing to me as rendered here. Alright, moving on to Dungeons and Trials. Alright, so now we're down to the different dungeons, and you'll see like different elements, get floor, architectural layouts, monsters, weapons. The environments are a little interesting. Again, the color seems a lot more muted than what we ended up with in the game. Okay, moving on to their Scar. And so there's some cool thing like Storm's Crown. When you look at this, look at the arena. There's a lot more thought to the arena, which you can't appreciate. These look great. I think, I really think they did a good job. You could tell adapting into animation. Yeah, I like this. I like these conceptual drawings because you can see the actual sketch work underneath it. You can see how they colored it. And to me, that's important. There's no cheating. It's a lot is based on drawing. This is actually very sketchy paint stuff. I like this. I have sketched like this before digitally. I think it's really neat. But again, the colors are a lot more muted. This dungeon, Lapis Manalis, again, muted. Oh my god, that's so cute. I don't think I paid attention to because I think we moved through and kill things so fast, but so cute, right? Yeah, we're still debating what's going on with the camera. Okay, more mobs. Again, this fight, another 8-person fight. The gross of this dungeon, I really don't like that little guy. Of course, the squid. Oh, this was really beautiful. I love this. Again, another example of how you're giving you the entire overview of this section of the dungeon. You can't necessarily see this view when you load into the section, but it gives you an idea of how you're supposed to be moving around, and that's why I really like these kinds of conceptual designs. It kind of teaches you what the intent was and also how to communicate to the video team. Right, moving on. Going faster. More scenes. Personally, you know, this kind of monster I'm not that interested in, but look at that abyssal fracture. Yeah, I like things like this floor where the person's definitely flexing. The monsters are very fun, gross. Then you have these cute ones as we move into some of the optional content. You know, these are the 4-person really difficult dungeons. This is the first of, oh, I forgot what they called, optional 4-man. And I haven't done the subsequent ones. I didn't do Mount Rokun, and I didn't farm the third one, which is Alo Island. But this is really interesting, and it's a different aesthetic, which is really nice. This is really cute. Like, this I would really want as a minion. Will I go in there someday? I don't know, maybe if I have time, I'll go in there and try again. Because I do like solo farming. I don't know if that's smart as a warrior, but... And then this is Gilded Araya. This turned out to be the Hildebrand fight, which is so strange because none of us saw it coming, and then we're like, oh, okay. And of course, this is the ultimate. Dark Souls Reprise. These are gorgeous. Omega Protocol. And so now we're moving on to Island Sanctuary. We have the minions, the different building designs. Again, I really like that. I like that somebody gets to flex and go, oh, I'm going through different industrial periods. Although this is funny how it ended with what I call space modern. But it was fun to see it. I can't say that I love all of it, but what I like is you can choose your style. And now we're on to equipment. So again, I think the last book and first book focuses more on artifact and 6.0 weapons, right? So this is trying to catch you up on a whole bunch of different, both tombstone and weapon drop weapons. Lots of designs, but you know, again, very high fantasy. These are really pretty, by the way. I like the green ones. And then these are envoy weapons. And then we have the raid trade-in weapons. Abyssos, Orthos. And this is a 8-man Majestic Mahanderville. So I think these are the early relic ones. These are nice. Although sadly, like, you know, we go through these so fast. This is an upgrade. Wait, that's so fun. Oh, and then this is nice. So I think someone else tweeted about it, and I don't think it registered because again, not all people see Twitter and also put in context. So for the weapon design winners that were incorporated, the cycle looks like that they put them here. Although this would be not what they submitted, but what their stuff was re-rendered as, but still very cool. I think some people who were winning, I hope they get a copy of the Artbook. I think that'd be great. It's a great memory. Sage's arms. Oh, these are additional, I believe these are additional winners, aren't they? Very cool. Now these are craft and gatherer. Limbo attire, I remember this. Go back to some of the 8-man stuff. Darber, oh, this is dungeon. Pantheon, this is 24-man. This is dungeon. 8-man. I can't remember. I can't remember, but it's a recent tome thing. Hypostatic is a 50. I think this is a trade-in. And Abyssos is... I'm sorry, I'm looking for the ones that I remember. Part of it is I just don't remember because I go through them so fast. I think this is a tome one. Do. Oh my goodness, Theogonic. I think this is the stuff we get off the 24 million because I think I have a lot of it in my inventory right now since we can't decent for trade. So again, a lot of gear, a lot of event. Now we're going to event things, special gear, crafted some not, I believe. This is storyline. Some of these are either one or off different rewards. Well, I'm pretty sure this was off the optional 4-man one because I remember having those. This cracks me up. Like every other, usually they have very Final Fantasy 14 type faces, and then what's this dude? I don't know. This dude is like, I'm just walking in from another universe. I don't belong in Final Fantasy universe. Right. So now you can see all the gear. These are very pretty. Gosh, it's been a long time for some of these. Some of these didn't do very well. Some of these gear we got for the event and I put it away. Some of these are crafted with drops. So this is kind of nice. I actually don't think I've seen this many pages of accessories before. And I don't know. I mean, I think it's good because somebody went to the effort to design these. They're really pretty. I know a lot of people don't spend time doing them, but I think a lot of people also craft and make these would love this kind of stuff. And now onto my favorite part is the minions. In the past, we used to get these on stickers in the optional quarterly magazines and other, bonuses. I like that there's actually sometimes more than one view. I don't know what happened here, but I guess they decided I'm giving you more space. There's a Nero card that cracks me up. What else in here cracks me up? Oh, I like that. That was an event minion. Of course, I love that guy. And of course, we have the 8-man and 24-man minions. And then the most expensive minions right now on my servers are some of these. Although we don't have the ones that are like the super gold ones, but this guy, man. It's like people are like still charging 24 to 50 million gil. These are from, the 8-mans. And right, these are from the treasure dungeons. Mounts. Very cool. Some of these are from Beast Tribe. Some of these are different rewards. This is, some of the styles in the rendering though is interesting because you can tell some of these were not really hand drawn anymore. This is like a pencil drawing, I can tell. But some of these look like, again, composited. These are a little strange to me how that they're put together. Maybe they're 3D modeled. Doggy. I like that. Look at that. She looks very Mary Poppins right there. And now we have some new bardings. And to be frank, I haven't paid attention to new bardings in a while for chocobos. It's so cute though. Okay, now here's some of my favorite stuff in the back. These are illustrations. A lot of these actually are event illustrations used often to kind of be the eye catch when you're saying, hey, a new event coming up. Or sometimes they accompany a letter. That looks like a Yoshi P. I like this because there's several artists here. Some who are signing. So when you go through and you're like, I wonder who's doing it. Sometimes it's not obvious when you see it on the lodestone, but I like here that I think several artists are like, you know what? I'm going to assert my identity. I need to be credited for what I do. So here we go there. And there. And these are beautiful. This is very old style. This reminds me of, I don't know, the early ARR art. Tanaka. I'll have to look. Yeah, I remember this artist. I think I talked about them before. This is from the DVD. Oh, and then here, this was actually made for an illustration magazine. It never appeared on our websites, but I actually bought this. It was either a CG or another illustration feature, and the artist designed this especially for that cover. It's great. Now, this I like too. This people have said, hey, I noticed on today's eye catch for the live letter. This is pretty gorgeous. I've seen it on a couple magazines. Okamoto, by the way, so we finally get a credit. It's a really beautiful style because what he did is he chose lines on the outside, and then he went very soft with the face. And to me, that shows that he kind of knew how much he wanted to paint it, right? So I really like this. It makes me wonder if this person was also the one who did the jobs, but I'm not sure, because this is an example of, you know, Sage and Reaper, and there's a very soft way he finishes it, which is not present in this version. So I kind of wonder now if this is a different illustrator. This is also probably similar artist, very soft lines. That was the Raid series kind of catch. And then, of course, Alliance. And then this beautiful put cut off of the spine illustration, which I guess maybe is smart given how much they want to sell this to you as art or acrylic stand. And this illustration, I think we saw, I think this was released about a halfway point. It's really nice. I want to say this, oh, see, it's Okamoto again. So this is interesting because this is Okamoto. Okamoto is also this person. So now you know. Now you know if it looks like this with the line, a very clean line. You can tell by the way they draw all LSA. And how the cute is very cute. What Ranji those like? And Estina like, yes, we're Shonen type. So that's an Okamoto style. Now, this is where I wonder if the English edition will translate these last two pages. Yeah, there's Kodai Okamoto. I might have to get the English version just so I can see what happens. But in any case, we're done. Personally, I like this book. For those who want to know, you see that's the interior cover, and this is the dust cover, Japanese way. I'll have to figure out if the Amazon way should be almost identical, unless they change something. But in any case, that's a view of the book, and I hope you know if you want to order it before, you can get off CDJapan or any place that does proxy ordering. If you're in the United States, the Kinokuniya outlets do have this book to order. You can go to their website, you can ask them to ship to you, or you can pick up for no shipping at their store locations. I've heard there's a bunch out. A lot of people have been eyeing it, but not having an idea what's in it. I can't preview, they didn't buy it. So, or you could wait a few weeks and get it off Amazon or Square Enix. But there you go. Hope you enjoy.